Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. You got myself, Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week, Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics. We smash them together to make inspirational projects. Let's go ahead and run through the show's segments. We're going to do what are you prototyping, a layer by layer, shop talk, we'll do the Q&A, and at the end of the show, we'll do community makes. So let's start off with a little coupon code discount.
This week's discount code, you can get 10% off during your checkout on any breakout board or 3D printer filaments. Use code MICRO.
That's right, Micro gets you 10% off your order. All items, no bits. But that's all good stuff. Guess what, folks? We still have some freebies. If you spend $100 or more on your order, you get a half-size proto. That is a very high-quality proto, through-plated gold, premium silk screen.
Yeah, you don't appreciate it until you get something like an Osh Park bed in, and
I think it was me, but yeah, I found that the soldering mask and quality is pretty good. Anyway, $150 more, you get a free trinket, 5 volts. $200 more, you get free shipping, plus the trinket, plus the promo proto. And if you spend $250 or more, what do you get, Pedro?
You get all that, plus tax. And one of the cool things is if you order a printer, you will get all of these things.
That's right.
So start you off on a project right away.
If you're a proud resident, you get same-day shipping in New York City, in Manhattan, right? So
that's right. So you order before 11 o'clock, you get it by end of day.
It's very
super handy.
Yeah, super handy. This is like drone delivery.
We are working on drone delivery.
We got some cool updates for you folks. Our 3D printing newsletter, letter from you can subscribe at adafruitdaily.com.
Doing pretty good. Looks like we got 1,000+ subscribers already.
Thank you guys for subscribing to the newsletter. It's all tips. They're not trying to sell you anything. There's no spam. It's just useful tips that we've gathered up through the years, and we figured we'd make that into the newsletter.
Nice small bite bits in your email every day. It's not even connected to your store account.
Yeah, it's not connected to your store, so you have to opt in. You have to give us your email. We won't sell it. I swear to God.
We have no need to.
No, we don't need to.
Enough sales are coming in.
We don't need to do that. But again, it's very useful stuff. There is biohacking, there is maker business, there is wearable stuff, general electronic stuff, and there's like a whole assortment of things. Is there a? Do you see it? Yeah, Adafruit Daily. So Adafruit Daily is the website you want to go to check it out. I don't see there it is. adafruitdaily.com on your browser. There it is. All you do is check the box that you want.
Coming soon, educators, drones, women in tech, general.
This needs to get updated because it's out.
Right.
Yeah, general, women in tech stuff, drone stuff, and much, much more.
That's right. All of the lovely contributors to the blog work on this very hard.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out.
Yep. Shout out to the customer service team for helping us out on this one. All right. We're going to
jump into what are we prototyping. Noah, you got a very cool board back.
That's right.
This is so handy for upcoming project, actually next week's project.
So this is a custom PCB that I made in EagleCAD. Over the break, I took some time to learn EagleCAD, and I figured my first project would be making the not Pocket Pie Girl, but the GameGRRL project a lot easier to build. This thing cuts the development in half. So all it is just a lot of traces for these 10 buttons. Is it 10 buttons? Yes, 10 buttons. You're going to use a Pi cable, so you're going to put a Pi cable socket header thing in the back there. Have some really nice silk screening. I really like the silk screening job on it. It's backwards, I apologize for that, but that's just the way we have it set up in Wirecast. But it's got the mounting hole, so you can mount it really nice. That was kind of one of the problems too. And just wiring so much stuff in the previous GameGRRL projects was very difficult.
Wires take up a lot of space.
In terms of, so the space, but in terms of just cutting so many wires and getting confused. Even some of our folks,
we like soldering, but
oh no, you still get to solder. You still get to have a lot of fun just putting it in through hole plating,
tinning the wire and all that. Oh, it's cool after the first 10, but then
then it gets confusing because you have to number and label your wires.
Jam stuff into an enclosure.
It is nice and cool now. So
awesome new design that you've designed here, Fusion 360 for the all-new enclosure. This is using the
The 2.8 Pi TFT and the Raspberry Pi 2. It's got a 2,000 milliamp battery. It's got the PowerBoost 1000C, a slide switch, the 2.5 watt single mono amp with a nice little mini metal speaker. There's plenty of room in there for upgrading stuff too. If you want to add some extra bells and whistles, you absolutely can. They're tack switches. I've been looking at checking out rubber tack switches that have less of a sound. Those hopefully are the same size. I think you can just solder surface mount them onto here. They're not through plated, but I'm going to check those out. But I like the clicky switch because they're working. But there are different types of tack switches out there if you'd like to search DigiKey. So the audio, there was a bit of a hiss problem on the Pocket Pi Girl edition because I think the power boost and the battery were a little bit too close to the amplifier, so it created a little bit of noise. With this one, there's plenty of room in there so that there's not a lot of noise. Yeah. So I just have one edit that I've done to this specific PCB. Do you have your finger over it?
Yeah, just trying to keep the volume down.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's vibrating or whatever. There you go. Yeah, so it's pretty loud. You can, of course, turn the amp up because right now it's by default. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. You got the side buttons over here. This is the new Pi TFT that works, for the Pi 2 in the B+. Now we wanted to make this. Oh yeah, L and R buttons on the back there.
Yeah, everybody's
go ahead and click them. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing you shouldn't click is this button. Do never click that button; it'll crash. Because
that's just the design of the PCB.
Right, and it's just Rev B now. So I actually did one small edit to it, but yeah, it'll take maybe a month or two to get this manufactured through Adafruit, but you can get started on the parts now. Yeah, it's very fun to play with, and a lot of room in there, a lot more powerful because of the Pi 2.
Because you can play Super Nintendo games on here, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So all the buttons are ergonomically in the right spot. So yeah, show it this way, I think. Yeah.
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, if you show it straight on, it's a little bit, but the viewing angle is actually really nice on this display. This is, of course, a touchscreen display. You don't really need the touchscreen because you got the buttons in here. I like that song.
Super cool project coming up. We'll be shooting this over the weekend.
Sure, yeah.
So it'll be released. Of course, you can get the Osh Park board.
PCB now, yeah. I'm going to share that so that you guys can pick it up if you want it.
Order one before
early.
Yep. This.
Cool.
Super cool project.
If you want to exit, just hit that one.
Very lovely addition to Pocket Pi Girl.
The family
and
of Pockets.
The original.
Yeah. Cool.
Super cool. This is what electronics and 3D printing is about, I think.
And
they're educational.
The main thing about it was just to make it easier to build, easier to assemble, cut the build time in half.
I think more than half, but yeah, this is super cool. And this is going to be the base foundation for the Pocket Pi Zero, which of course
Pi Zero. Just call it Micro.
Which of course is being worked on. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, that's the next thing
things take a while to do.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting on a new Pi TFT from Lamar.
Yeah, I think we can say that.
Yeah, we can totally say that.
Anytime you have to wonder why aren't they working on that, it's because
they are working on it.
There's other things that need to be made first.
Micro is funny because it's a new printer, and Micro GameGRRL will be coming out. So there you go.
Soon. Next week.
Yeah, so Micro is a coupon discount. If you want to pick up some stuff, support the channel, support the company and community. All right, let's go ahead and jump into layer by layer. Let's do that, huh? I want to show you guys the
very cool
CAD
layer by
stuff.
layer this week.
Yeah, so this one is just a little walkthrough of the CAD stuff, and then this actual layer by layer on the playlist is going to be a 20-minute overview of Fusion Zoo. Somebody asked me, could you do a quick overview of the UI, some basic concepts, so that's what I did. But right now we're just going to look at the CAD. This is some of the CAD. So this is a
right here.
Sure, yeah. This is a master assembly. So all the components were remade using sketches. Here's the Raspberry Pi 2, and everything is inside of a master assembly. So I use sketches for everything. So using the tech drawings, you can just measure up everything, type in some dimensions that are available in the tech drawings. Everything's extruded nicely.
Super handy in case there's ever new versions of this board released.
Sure, and then here's a new component for you guys, the updated Pi TFT 2.8. I got all the sketches for you. I even have a little testing mount unit that I designed first. So I was able to use K-Town and Lamar's tech drawings. They tell you exactly where the buttons are. Everything is exact to the measurement of the PCB. Very nice. I also have the cutout, of course, for you, and a little screen holder that keeps the screen in place and keeps it nice and snug. There's that mount that I was telling you about. So I made sure to do a test print. I always recommend doing a test print for a new component. It's a little mounting bracket to make sure that everything is good before making a big enclosure. The gamepad PCB, it is so liberating to like make the PCB and then make an enclosure for the PCB because you already have all the exact measurements. This is like the little mount unit. It's just got like the 4 standoffs, a little cutout for the buttons. And I also, of course, made the rubber buttons. Here's what the PCB looks like. The sketch for it. I really like how I laid out the dimensions. You can get really fancy with your dimension layouts and lay them out all nicely. Way to do it. Yeah, so all the buttons, of course, when you do it in EagleCAD, you know exactly what the positioning is. So I was able to just carry that over and just reference my PCB design and just be like, okay, this needs to be here, 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 and there. So there's 6mm buttons. They got the tack switches there too. And that's pretty much it. The board is the exact same width as the Pi, which is like 85mm. Got my my headers too, the buttons, the rubber buttons. Some folks were saying that the cutouts for the buttons were a little bit too tight, so I made sure to make them a little bit more loose. So they're, instead of 0.2, they're now 0.5mm. That's half of a millimeter, so all the buttons have enough wiggle room. So for any different slicer, any different printer, the tolerance should work out pretty good. The other thing I made sure to do is, this is just the buttons, the circle buttons, is to include the header, the IC header box thing, that whatever it's called. It's like the little mail header that you solder into the back. It has to be soldered into the back, and because the way it's routed is it's just much more optimized through the back instead of doing it through the top. So that's what I found. Let's look at some other components. I even made like a nice fancy version of the metal speaker. Before I just had like a regular cylinder, but it's really relatively easy to make all these little nice.
It would definitely help out unless you want to mount in a different way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Little extrusions.
This is the master assembly. Nothing special other than that all the components are linked into it. So you can see in the browser that I have the two boxes there. In the components that have the little link icon, that means it's linked. So it's a reference thing. So if I ever update a component, I can just update that component within the master assembly.
It's like a smart object inside
Photoshop.
Yeah,
exactly. Smart objects. So check out section analysis. I love using section analysis.
Such a lifesaver.
Absolutely, man. So I can make sure that all the clearances are right, like for the tack switches, and make sure everything is right up against each other. Nothing's intersecting. Nothing's in the way. You have different, different types of section analysis. So I have one on the Z, one on the Y, or the X. And this just helps you visualize and cut through and inspect your components. Make sure that your enclosure is all nice and fitted and there's plenty of clearance for wiring and whatnot. So I use that a lot. Let's see, what else have we got here? This is going to be, of course, available for free, so you guys can download it and use either Fusion or any other CAD package. The L&R buttons are in the back there. So it took me not too long, but I figured that I'd just make a separate mounting piece that's printed separately that gets attached to the back of the enclosure via some mounting screws and standoffs. So let's take a look at the bracket here. This is a really, really simple thing that keeps the buttons in place. They're actually 12mm tack buttons, and you have the little rubber actuators in front of that. They're the actuators. It's just 4 screws. I end up using number 256 screws just to keep everything nice and small, and then 440 screws for everything else. So that's how the L&R buttons work. I've seen other folks remix the design and do the same type of design type thing. So I figured I got inspired by that, so that's a good way to do it.
Definitely works out.
Yeah, and I think that's it. All the components are there, the batteries there, power boost, everything. So if you guys want to modify things, take a look at the speaker grill, inspired from Phil B's D20. It was holes before, and that just worked out terribly. Like making a ton of little holes
was okay. It just wasn't optimal.
Yeah, this is a lot nicer looking. A lot of sketches are still here. All the sketches that that create the holes for the enclosure are all there. So you can move them around, which is awesome. There's a speaker. Let's take a look at the speaker mount. There's a little mount there. If you want to use a different speaker, you can modify that. The speaker grill, if you don't like the speaker grill, you're free to modify that as well. It's just a bunch of sketches. The dimensions are set there as well. Yeah. The parametric timeline is a huge, huge time saver. I can go all the way back here and modify the extrusion for the main enclosure. In this case, I needed to make it just 1 millimeter bigger because I had a teeny gap. So I was able to just update that, and everything got carried over when I hit OK. So it's a real lifesaver, man. It's awesome.
Ginormous time saver.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would not have been possible inside of 123D or simpler programs.
Yeah, it would have took a lot longer. So
a lot of backtracking that would have happened.
I think this is the first time we showed this on the show, and like over the weekend, like whipped that up, and that's it, folks. If you have any questions about it, or if you want a free early access to it, let me know. I'll give you the link, and you guys can start downloading it away.
This, and start getting all the parts that you're going to need to start assembling this very awesome new update to
Yay!
Pi Girl.
Yay! Pi Girl.
2, finally.
Pi Girl 2.
One of the reasons too you were getting this out, Model B is going to be discontinued pretty soon. So
yeah, Model B.
Yep.
Model B Plus is here for the win.
On this Raspberry Pi 2.
Okay.
Very awesome.
Cool. Well, that was Lair, folks. Let me know what you guys thought, and we're gonna jump into a little shop talk now. So, do you want to show off a little 3D printer?
Yeah. So.
Whip it to the browser.
Last week we got the M3D Micro in the shop, and one of the things that make it super handy and useful is when you can wirelessly control it using the OctoPrint. Of course, we got the OctoPrint Pack in the shop that comes with the image already pre-flashed on there. We got a learning guide up with the video launch that you can take a look at if you're new to the Pi, new to the Raspberry Pi, and want to wirelessly control it. Some of the simple steps that you can take to setting that up. One of the cool things, though, is M3D, I want to say FIO? F-I-O? Sorry, Donovan, for butchering the name.
Yeah, sorry about
that. He is the awesome contributor who has single-handedly taken this back in the open source hands.
Oh, wow, that's funny. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the plugin.
So the plugin lets you independently update the firmware, do filament loading, do calibration of the bed, just all the nifty things you're going to need to do to set up your printer without having it tethered to the computer.
Okay. Do you want to show us a little quick UI?
Yeah. So very simple. You can just drag your STL right into the UI here, and you can slice it right through the browser, which is pretty cool, using the Cura backend. And we got some profiles for you guys you can download. M3D FIO also includes, if you pause there, I want to mention that you can modify the G-code that it generates, so you can go in there and do some modifications.
It's very customizable.
Yeah, you have the cool little UI here. You can move your model around, scale, rotate, copy, clone, and even cool things like modify the UI with your...
I have the white one. There's the black one.
What the printer looks like. So super handy. If you don't want to spend the extra money on Simplify 3D, you can use the open source Cura engine in the backend. Of course, we do have the Simplify 3D profiles as well.
Okay.
This comes with a variety of profiles, like for the flexible filaments.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We also have the Simplify 3D one for SemiFlex and NinjaFlex, which of course works on here. Yeah, you can see the build area. The dimensions
really
for
good
that.
visual.
Super handy, and of course you can do the G-code visualization once you slice your model. So again, if you're first time getting into this, super handy that you can just drag your STL in any web browser, control it, drag this around as you've seen in the project video. Super handy if you want to take this around like in a family outing or something like that, print something quick like at a party or something.
Yeah. Just a quick look at the OctoPrint UI. Big shout out to Donovan, of course, the developer behind the M3D FIO plugin.
Yeah, and just a couple days ago, Gina requested to have this added to the official repository for OctoPrint, and literally like
minutes
before we started recording, she went ahead and added it. So
that's great.
Super handy. I don't see a donate button anywhere, but definitely give them a shout out for putting all the hard work into this very awesome plugin. Cool.
Here's the printer profiles, folks. One quick note is that we finally, thanks to Todd,
Trace, engineer here at Adafruit.
Yeah, he forked it and put it on the Adafruit main account. So the GitHub account is a lot easier to find through Adafruit. Printer profiles there. M3D.
Yeah, so one of the things that we do when we get new printers in the shop is we test the living crap out of them. We build our own custom profiles, and every printer that we've ever had in the shop is there. If you've ever been curious, can't get a good printer setting, go ahead and check out github.com/Adafruit/printer-profiles. You can get all the custom profiles that we use to print all of our projects.
Yeah.
Check them out. You can jump into Micro. I think we still have to update upload the Cura one, but we have for Simplify 3D
Yep.
regular, and Ninja Flex,
Flex.
Semi-Flex.
Cool
Very
stuff.
awesome.
All right. I think that's all I have here for M3D. So yeah, be sure to check that out, folks, if you want to get your...
Of course, you can
your
get
3D printer on
10%
Wi-Fi.
off with your order.
Okay.
You'll get free shipping, of course.
Let's take out, what was the code? Code simple this week.
Micro.
Micro? Okay. Cool. We are running through this quickly. I'm happy. All right. What do we want? You want to
Next
do
up
anything
is
else?
a Q&A.
All right. Let's do Q&A. Let's jump right into it. First question is coming from A.A. McClary. How do you model for dual extrusion in Inventor? I get how to make two separate models in the computer, but the alignment is something that always gives me trouble. Sure. So in the tutorial, I show how there's one feature inside of Simplify 3D that's called Align Models to Origin.
Yeah.
And the key there is that when you export your parts, your separate parts, out of your CAD package, in this case it's Inventor, you got to make sure that your setting is set to include the origin, the original origin of it. That way that when you bring it into Simplify, it is going to be like, it's going to do its best to like separate them. That's why you have to group it, and you have to say align to origin.
Yeah,
and then
group it before you do any
you
of
do
that.
have to group it first, and then you can orient it in the right spot and lay it flat on the bed. Yeah, it's in the tutorial, but I think the setting that you need to find is when you export it out of Inventor, make sure that it retains that origin. Yeah. So that's about it.
Yeah, we had some problems when we were trying to export the dual unicorn horns out of Maya, and that was giving us some problems.
That's right. I just forget. There's just one checkbox under all those checkboxes inside of Maya. So there you go. Hope that helps out. Next question is from Andreas, coming in from Portugal. Hello from Portugal. Awesome tutorial. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. That's awesome to see a lot of people are watching it outside of the U.S. and things. Thanks. Yay. Thanks, Andre. Next one is from Jared. What is the best 3D printer for people on a very tight budget? That all depends, really. If you want to do the kit route, it's always cheaper. You get to learn about the mechanics of 3D. But if you just want to get into design, if you're a designer, you just want to get into it, maybe building a kit is not the best thing for you. So it really depends on you. There's some new printers that came out in CES. A $269 XYZ Da Vinci printer.
Pretty promising.
That was pretty cool. It's
All
like direct drive,
open
175.
spool system. Of course, M3D that we have here. So
Printer bot if you want to get that extra build. So there's a lot of choices out there, and that's the good thing. But of course, always do your research. Check out the buying guides from us, the buying guides from Make, from 3D Hubs. It's hard to pick
read
one.
reviews online too, see what everybody else is thinking. Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, Jared. Next one is from Anacor. What 3D printer was this made with? It looks like a very smooth finish on the BMO.
Yeah, so the BMO was printed in ABS on the Replicator 1
Rep
using
1.
Kapton tape.
That's why it looks so smooth.
Yeah.
Was it sliced with Replicator G, I think?
No, I think it was sliced with Makerware.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think what made it smooth is that it's ABS and it was on Kapton tape.
Yeah, we have our little custom heated enclosure. Yeah, it's still an amazing printer. Like to this day, it's still pretty good. It can.
Anytime we need to do anything with ABS, we don't want to mess around with any of the settings of the other printers. It's what we turn to.
Okay.
So yeah,
I don't use it that much nowadays, but there you go. That was the printer. Thanks, Anacor. Next one is from Austin. How many seconds are usually between each picture? This is on the Time-Lapse Tuesday video the wireframe had.
Yes, for anything over 2 hours, we're using 60 frames a second for the interval.
60 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, for every photo.
1 minute.
Anything under like 2 hours, we're using like 30 seconds, and we're using the GoPro Hero 3.
Oh, 3?
Plus black.
Plus black edition?
Black plus.
Do you want me to get it?
No.
It's right over there.
It's fine.
Yeah, but anyway, the answer is just a minute. It really depends. If you're doing a time lapse that's 30 minutes, then you want to dial
Drop
it down
it even more than that.
to like 10 seconds or something. That's fine.
Yeah, it's all depending on how long the print takes. But yep, there we go. We're using on the GoPro the settings. I think it's the 12 megapixel wide angle, and that's just so you can be able to zoom in.
Spot metering.
Spot metering's turned on.
Here's a big tip.
Plug it into the wall, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Plug it into the wall. You don't want your battery to die. We've had that happen. It is a time-lapse feature is available in OctoPrint. Works with USB camera.
Yes.
Doesn't work with the GoPro yet. Maybe somebody will make a plugin. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, we use the GoPro just because it's super high res and you can pan it around and things like that. So it's always good to have a high resolution photo. But there you go. More answers for you. Austin. Next one is from Jaren asking, that printer is perfect for my room. Does it work with the Raspberry Pi 3D printer controller monitoring distro that you guys talked about a while back?
Yep, and you can get the whole setup guide on learn.adafruit.com. I'll show you exactly how to set all that up. Very cool. And definitely get M3D FIO.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Jaren. Oh. Next one is from the Aviation. I know that MakerBot claims that the 5th gen only can handle PLA materials, but can you print NinjaFlex with it? I really don't see the issue. We don't have a MakerBot 5th gen.
Yeah.
So some folks, we're looking to you, Aiden or JWall. I know you guys got the 5th gen. So have you tried NinjaFlex? If so, let us know your experience with it. If it works, if it comes out a little stringy or whatever, just let us know. We would definitely like to know.
Yeah, so Ninja Tech, aka Fenner Drives, makers of NinjaFlex, has a new filament coming out called Cheetah, which they have been using on Bowden extruders. We haven't tested it out yet, so I can't speak to what the actual feel of the filament is, but they have assured me that yes, it does work with Bowden drives.
Because that's been the one thing about Bowden drives that drives us Bowden is the sort of lack of being able to print NinjaFlex confidently.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, Aviation. Next one is from Dylan. Dylan. These prints didn't come out very well. The ones that I've done had the best details I've seen on a 3D print. It's possible that I used different settings than you.
Maybe up the resolution on your YouTube, on the resolution for the video, and definitely share your photos as well. We'll share them up on the blog.
Yes, please let us know.
Upload your printer profiles as well.
Sure, yeah. We would love to see your prints. Thank you, Dalen. Next one is from Jamie K. Hello, I'm looking at some printers, and the unit you're using in this demo is highly recommended. Do you agree, and are there any other dual extrusion units worth looking at? Thanks. Yeah, this is on the dual extrusion video.
Yeah, I think the Flash Forge or the Dreamer from Dremel.
Flash Forge, Dreamer, they all have that same MK style dual extruded head, and it's a great thing, spring loaded, whatnot.
We've seen some very awesome modifications for the Ultimakers that use dual extrusion.
Yeah,
one of the coolest ones was where they're doing the dual parking, where one head is printing while the other one is parked on either side. And a cool company, what is it, BCN?
BCN Technologies has a model called the Sigma printer. Rich Rapp has actually been using it quite a bit, and he's showing promising results with dual extrusion at NinjaFlex as well. So the thing about the dual parking is that it eliminates oozing problems.
One of the biggest problems.
One of the biggest problems, yeah. So they're the only manufacturer, consumer grade 3D printer that I've seen. The only thing that's not a drawback, but that I don't personally like too much, is it's using 3mm filament and it's a Bowden. But that is awesome. I hope more manufacturers start looking at that and tinkering with the idea of parking dual extruders.
Very cool.
But yeah, any of the MK8 style dual extrusion heads will work well. So there you go. Thank you for the question, Jamie. Hope that helps. Tom is asking, I enjoyed the video. I need to set up my dual extruder on the TAS 4 and get these type of projects going. I particularly enjoy your explanation of Simplify 3D, as I did drive into that slicer. Thanks so much. Yeah, no problem, Tom. We definitely should do some more Simplify 3D tutorials. And check out Simplify 3D's YouTube channel.
They have a very nice assortment of very cool basic tutorials on setting up all your dual extrusion models.
They have the best learning guide too for troubleshooting.
The best on the internet, yeah.
So check it out, Tom. Thank you for the comment. Next one is from Crazy Freak 123. Oh my God, what an honor getting answered by Noah. Hey, no problem. Hope my luck still works on getting this one again. Have you ever considered building a dead mouse head, the big LED model? I've seen both Daft Punk helmets. Really love them. I really appreciate if you could build a dead mouse. Happy greetings from Germany. Hello, Germany.
Very awesome. Yeah, I think I might have to take that up.
I like the simplicity, but like the craziness of it. It's just like a big
because
Mickey
it's
Mouse
a big
head.
sphere, that might be a little bit of a problem, but it might be able to work. We'll see. We have a new version of the Type A machine coming in, so hopefully with the heated bed, it'll keep warping down.
Get all the 250 plus beds, get the TAS going, get the Type A going. That'd be awesome.
I will try that out.
Cool. We're going to add it to the list, the long list of stuff to do. Thank you. Scotty D's asking a question. Hey guys, can you print something like this with multicolors when using a single extruder? I'm not saying that you guys did do that, but I know that you have multiple extruder printers. I would just like to learn how you can do this on a single extruder setup in the software. Do you change out the filament during prints? Basically, is there the software that can do this?
So not on the same layer. You can't do that on the same layer.
What do you mean? And together, yeah. You have to stack them on top of each other. So the printers have something called pause Z height. Some printers have that, some don't. If the ones that don't, Simplify 3D has a feature called pause at Z. So you can tell exactly where you want to change the filament, and then you can change the filament through there.
Cura has this as well.
Oh, Cura does?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good because it's free software. So yeah, you do it through the slicer, or you do it through your onboard computer's firmware software setup.
Yeah, if you're just looking at stacking filaments on top of each other, you can, what's it called, hot swapping. Where you can just cut the filament, insert the new color, and let that new color push the old one into the nozzle.
Yeah.
You can keep printing that way.
That's true. One thing about this particular project, if you wanted to do that, say you print it black first and then you swap it to white, the light would not, the light would still be blocked by the black color because it's on top of it. So I would recommend doing it inverted, so you print with the glow-in-the-dark material or transparent material first and then black on top. That way you get this sort of recessed looking
silhouette type look.
Yeah, that would be cool. So there you go, Scotty. Thanks for the question. Next one up is from Jeff Andrews. This is the last one, really long one. Can you do a comparison machine and print tasks comparing the final output, any pros and cons of each machine? Default extruder, nozzle, default firmware, extruder, bed temperatures, cure flow settings, etc., and any other helpful information. I'd like to see close-up comparison and hear you guys share your general thoughts. You can please compare the Type A machine Series 1 Pro with the Winchester G2 extruder, the Ultimaker 2 Plus, the Low Spot TAS 5, with each comparable nozzle size to the Type A machines. When offering your thoughts, please address, if you can, are there any machines better at fine details versus speed versus quality, parts, prototypes, toys? Thank you both so much. Fun inspiration every week. Yeah, awesome, Jeff. This is a big one. We could spend like a whole hour on this. Maybe we should do a dedicated video on it. But
this calls for a dedicated video. But right off the bat, the Type A machine, if you want to do the biggest print size, you can. That's what I always turn to. I really like the Winchester extruder on that. Yeah, super handy for the lull
never
spots.
Clogs. Never say never, but it barely clogs.
It's clogged once or twice, but it's super easy to. It's like literally one screw to take off that whole case and then take out the filament. So super easy to do. The lull spot, not so much. I've had a lot of problems where the filament gets jammed on the 3D printed parts for that. Which is, I think, the only printer that still has 3D printed parts for the main weight extruder that's feeding everything in there. I haven't seen anybody else have that problem, but I had to have additional like gears like already printed, ready to go.
Really? I remember that.
Just in case something happened to it. Yeah. So there was a problem with that. It prints pretty fast, like at 100 millimeters a second for the print speed.
It prints pretty fast. Okay.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Okay, so they all can print about the same speeds. The Ultimaker can print a little bit faster because it's got the boat in?
And it has the swappable nozzles too, so the resolution.
That thing's big.
You can go down to, 0.25, and it can go down to 20 microns too if you want to print really high detailed, like little miniatures and toys and things like that.
So the Olsen block is a kit of four lenses, 4 different nozzles, so you get a lot of flexibility there. It does come with it.
Yep. And of course you can use 175 or 3mm filament.
Okay. Details. Let's talk about like printer details. Obviously you can get some fine details on both the Type A machine and the Ultimaker. What about the TAS?
So the TAS is pretty much made for bigger
prints?
Bigger prints, yeah. I have noticed a little bit of gooping when trying to get smaller prints, like the smaller enclosures that we made. There has been some gooping, and it's a 0.5mm nozzle. Not too easy. It shouldn't be too hard to switch out, but it's just that big head that you got to switch out. Oh, okay. The nozzle.
Yeah, you have to take apart the whole nozzle.
Yeah.
The whole extruder. Okay.
So it just depends on do you want like between the Type A or the TAS in terms of the build size. The height, I think the Type A has like 50 millimeters more higher on that. The in terms of X and Y. Between the Ultimaker and the Type A, I think the Type A has a little bit more wider. The extended Ultimaker is at 305, I believe, which is about the same size as the Type A, but of course it's just not as wide. And on the Ultimaker, you got a bowed-in extruder, so if you need to print a wide Ninja Flex, print.
Man,
Like
that's
when I was doing the linked shield, all the colors that go on top of that, I needed really big surface area for the Ninja Flex, and the direct drive on the Type A was able to print that out perfectly.
Okay.
So it just depends on what needs you need. You're going to use this for.
Yeah. They're all good choices, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, but when you're doing a lot of different projects, unfortunately, you are going to need different printers. It's just like a tool. You have to use one for whatever project you're using.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all really good. It just depends on what are the pros and cons and what projects you're going to be working on.
Yeah. Yeah, but those are just our opinions and our experiences with it. They could vary. So there you have it. Thanks, Jeff.
We'll do a video about it.
Yeah, we'll try to do a video or something about it. So that's it. There's a lot we can spend time on, but let's move on to the next. This is all the questions. Thank you guys so much for all the questions and comments on the YouTubes.
Yeah, remember if you have any questions, leave them below on any of the videos and we'll gather them up.
All right, now we're going to jump into Community Makes. This week we have some very cool projects that were made. Let's take a look at them now. I'll jump into the browser and we'll look at the things I have queued up here. So the first one, this is awesome. This is an update remix to the Mini Oons project. This was cool. This is by Rod Riflip, I think. Sorry if I butchered your name, but Thingiverse user. Made an awesome remix to this project. It is like a dual setup here. You got two 4x4 trellises and some sliders in the middle. Here, just connected to his laptop. Printed in, I think, wood filament. Here's also like gray PLA too. Just really awesome looking. So he printed on a rep wrap on a Persia i3. No supports, no wraps. A couple different parts for you, and there's a couple comments already. Very awesome. What software did you use? He used Cadia version 5 and Keyshot for rendering. Very cool, and I gave him a little comment here, and he's like, thank you. Yeah, of course, awesome. We're going to share it. It's on the blog, too, if you want to see. So, proper remix. Very awesome.
Very cool, yeah. I really like the wood filament that he's using to print this out.
He's still work in progress, but if you guys want to check it out, there it is. Very awesome. Thank you so much for making that. Next one, this is huge. This is from Derek Sullivan. Super Pie Boy. There's so many remixes, but this is one of my favorite ones right now, recently. He took the enclosure and modified it to make it exactly how he wants. So there's like a big button, all 4 buttons, 2 speakers, so you got stereo sound on it. He has a guide that he put together. He has cap touch support. It's got the Pi 2.
Very fancy.
Very, very fancy. Volume knob, stereo amplifier. I really like his guide that he put together. It shows you a wiring diagram on how to wire up the amplifier. So you have the speaker jack, the headphone jack, and the potentiometer to adjust the volume. It's very, very awesome. Thank you so much, Derek, for this one. Somebody actually made his version. It's a very challenging build, but this guy, let me like it. This guy made it. He says, based on the Rev A of the Super Pi board by Derek, I opted to use the 3.5 composite LCD instead of the Pi 2T. Now that's kind of fancy because then
you don't need the frame buffer tools for that. Yeah, so it's going to be accelerated.
Yep, that's great. No sound included in my build yet, but I'm thinking just plugging in USB card and handle. Instead of opening the case. That's cool. Yeah. Yep. It's a challenge, man. Those wires get crammed in there first time around. Yep. I know how that is. So the main thing about the Pi Girl here is just to have this minimal and fast. But I really appreciate you guys going all out and going crazy with the challenging builds. Huge shout out to you, Derek. Next one. This one's made by DIY Gallery. Remember this guy, the Domo face? Yeah, this is like the first enclosure made for the Raspberry B+ when it first announced earlier last year. This was printed on his Row Stock Max from CBNC. He printed it at a 0.25 resolution, 20% infill, triangles, nice. 44 millimeters a second, 208 on the extruder, and 60 on the bed. Looks really good. Looks really clean.
Really nice.
Good job on that one. Next one, we have your Highland Shield, Pedro. This is awesome. No details on it, but shout out to you, Kajay, on this one. I can't see any seams. I don't know what orientation he printed it on.
Very nice weathering techniques on this, too.
I think so, man. There's no build lines on it. Really smooth and finished.
Yeah. This is very nice.
Yeah, I think it's for like a kid version, like maybe a son or something.
Or maybe a kitty cat.
Or a kitty cat, cats of cosplay. It's awesome. He's got the Master Sword, too. Yeah, again, I love the colors, and you can't tell it's printed at all, so that is awesome.
Super fancy.
Let us know how you did it. Thank you, Kaji.
Next up.
Pocket Pie Girl, that's right. Martin made the Pocket Pie Girl. Says that he got the so here's the thing. He got a little bit of hiss of that speaker, drives him mad. So he wrote his own mute function for the amplifier. So that is awesome. He has a little guide here on how to put that together. So that is really nice. And huge shout out to you. I love it when people add on, contribute to the project. That's what open source is all about. And the part looks really good.
Looks like he's playing Doom there too.
Playing Quake, Doom, or something like that. Yep. There's his wiring setup, and of course all the code, the necessary code to make the muting function. So awesome.
Very, very handy.
Very handy. I have it linked below for you guys, so check that out. And the last one is a Raspberry Pi Zero case made by 12 or F12. F12, yeah. Take a screenshot. He printed this on his Wanho duplicator i3 using Maker Select.
Very nice.
Very cool. So that's pretty much it for this week's makes. If you guys want if you want to share your project that isn't on Thingiverse, please drop us a line, send an email to support@adafruit.com, or you can hit us up on Instagram or Twitter and the like. And definitely a good time. I love sharing people's projects.
Very awesome, yeah. Thanks everybody for making.
All right. One last thing, of course, coupon code. If you want to pick up anything stuff, support the channel, support Adafruit. Awesome company. Martin Phil. Micro is the coupon code. That's how we do the thing here.
Yeah. This is
no VC.
Our jobs is to create all these inspirational projects for you guys.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get something.
Yeah, somebody commented recently, like, how do I add a donate button? It's like, yeah, just buy something. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Buy
you can get like exactly. Get like the little small PCB. Yeah. There you go.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys got any comments, of course, let us know in the show, in the links below, in the comments. I'm falling apart.
Remember, step-by-step tutorials on every project we make.
Yeah,
painstakingly, we have to take photos of every single step, high quality.
It takes a whole day dedicated. I think that's what Phil B is working on.
Shots,
Haku,
the shots. So awesome. We have to like arrange everything, get the lighting all right. Yeah, all for you guys. So definitely check those out.
Okay, we got stuff on the Google Plus, blogs on the Thursday, and of course you can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse.
All behind the scenes.
Yep. Lineage show starts off with Becky Stern, Wearable Electronics. It's on every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Shortly after that, get your wearable fix. After that, we got the Show and Tell show. We always come by. Tony D, others stop by as well. Be sure to come by and let us know what you're working on. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. Shortly after that,
always a party.
Always a party. After that is a party with Lamar and Phil for a full hour of Ask Engineer, open source Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and more new products. It's on 8 o'clock.
Top secret.
Top secret stuff. Checking out from the desk of LadyAda, hashtag desk of LadyAda. She is doing it up. Phil, PT, and Lamar are just doing some incredible work.
The only live, unscripted electronics.
That's right. Longest running. It's awesome, man. See Lamar design a PCB. See her solder up her PCB. See her fix electronics. See her do all the cool stuff at her home.
All the very cool new circuit boards that
Cats of Engineering
working on. Yeah,
all sorts
check
of good
that out
stuff.
for all the behind the scenes.
Yeah, we tend to like work out at late night, and that's when they broadcast. So we're like working out, and she's on the TV, and it's just awesome. Good time around. Thank you, Lamar and Phil, for supporting us and everybody too. So there you have it, folks. That is this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought in the comments. But until next time, remember to keep on making. Bye, guys.